So today's video is, can you grow peanuts from mixed bird seed? So I bought some mixed bird seed the other day, and in it, it's got the usual stuff that you can feed your chickadees, blue jays, and so on, but it also has peanuts in it. So what I'm doing is I'm going through the whole bag, and I'm looking for peanuts that have both halves plus that little bit of a skin on them, the brown, light brown skin. And once I find one, I put a little bit of water in the bottom of this container, and I'm putting them in the water. That's just so they'll get hydrated again. They're probably very dry, and I don't think they will grow if they're very dry. So I don't know if this is going to work or not. So I'm going to see if I can find probably about a dozen or so peanuts, and once I get that done, I'm going to put them in some wet paper towel and put them in the fridge. So I'll show you that when I'm at that spot. But for now, I'm just basically flipping through all this bird seed, looking for the peanuts, or whole peanuts. So I've finished going through the seeds, looking for any peanuts. So out of probably a 5-pound bag of mixed sunflower seeds and bird seeds and corn and peanuts, I got this many whole ones that have their skin on, and I got that many that don't have. So obviously there's a lot more that are halves and stuff like that. So okay, so just give me a second, I'll be right back and I'll show you the next step. So I've now taken my seeds that have been sitting in the water for about 12 hours. I've got a small little Tupperware type dish that's probably an inch tall. I put in a paper towel, got it wet, made sure it wasn't overly wet, and now I put in all my peanut seeds. I'm going to put the paper towel on top, and then when that's done, I'll lay it down flat on top. I'll put the cover on, and then I'm going to put this in the fridge. And if everything works out good, hopefully in 2 or 3 days or so, some of these peanuts will actually start getting little roots. So we'll check it in a few days. Today is Sunday, so I'll check it again, say Tuesday, Wednesday, and we'll check it every day or so after that and see if anything starts. And hopefully it will. So it's been 10 days since I took these peanuts out of my bird seed and put them in this container. After 5 days in the fridge, I got absolutely nothing. There was no roots, nothing growing. So the last 5 days I put them up on a windowsill, and the paper towel is still a bit wet. And as you can see, they're starting to get a bit of roots on some of these. So I've watched some videos, and they all said about 2 to 3 days you should have roots that are probably ½ an inch to an inch long. Well, that did not work for bird seed peanuts. So it might work for regular peanuts that are seed peanuts, but not for bird seed ones. They're probably pretty dry, and that's why it takes that much longer. So as you see, some of these obviously did not start. But what I'm going to do, like I said, it's been 10 days. Today is a Monday. So I'm going to leave these all until the weekend, so that'll be 4 to 5 days from now. And at that point, they have roots that are ½ an inch to an inch long. Then I'll come back on this video and I'll show you I'll put them in some dirt and that kind of thing. So this is 10 days, and they're just starting now to get roots. They're probably an 1/8 of an inch long, the ones that you can see in there. So right now, I'm out of my greenhouse, and there's a reason people have their greenhouses. Outside, it's March the 24th, outside right now it's 4 degrees Celsius, which is about 35 degrees Fahrenheit. And in this greenhouse, with the door partially open, it's 25 degrees Celsius, or about 76 or 77 Fahrenheit. So I'm going to take some of my peanut seeds that have started to sprout a little bit, and what I'm going to do is, at the 6-inch mark, this is a raised one of the beds in the greenhouse, 6-inch mark, the 18 and so on every foot, I'm going to put one of the peanuts in the ground. And so like here's one of the peanuts that's sprouting. And so what we'll do at the 6-inch mark is I'll dig a hole, and yes, I know it looks dry, but I'm going to add water after. So we'll put 6 inches just down a little bit, not too far. Maybe even put the root part down a bit, and I'm just going to cover it up. That's a bit of eggshell is what you see there. And I'm going to do that all along, probably put 10 in here, and then when I'm done, we'll take the watering can and I'll give it a good drink. And in here, most days it's, right now it's probably in the 30s, which is close to almost in the 90s Fahrenheit, and they should be doing great. So I can get at least an extra month, a month and a half growing in this greenhouse, because if I put them outside I have to wait till there's at least about 20 degrees Celsius, which is whatever that is in Fahrenheit. 20 degrees Celsius is pretty close to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. So I have to wait till probably way into May, but this is only March the 24th, so it's well worth my time to put them in a greenhouse and grow them in here, and some in the garden too, of course. So let's go from there. Okay, so now what I'm doing is I'm going to put one of these little containers on top of the seeds, and the reason I'm doing that is because I don't want any little critters that may be in here. Who knows, there could be mice, there could be squirrel, there shouldn't be none of that, but you never know, and I'm guessing they will love a peanut if they can eat it. So I'll put these little containers on top of the seed, and once the seed is coming out of the ground, I'll take the containers off. So that'll help hold the moisture in, and it will keep the critters out. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 peanut plants in here. So that's not too bad for, and then I've got a bunch more in the container to go. So I should get probably close to 20 peanut plants before I'm done, and that's with the bird seed ones. It's been about a week since I took those peanuts that were starting to have little roots and planted them outside. And when I did that, I also took 4 of those peanuts and I put them into pots and left them in the house on the windowsill. And at the moment, 3 of them are coming up. This one is just barely starting. It's kind of hard to see. This one is just out of the ground. And this guy here is probably now maybe an inch long. So it's been close to about 3 weeks to get to this point. So it does work. After this, once it gets a bit larger, then I'll plant them either into bigger pots or straight into my garden. So the ones in the greenhouse at the moment have not come up, but we have been cold at night time, and that's probably making them a little bit slower to get started. So anyway, I hope you liked this video. Starting peanuts from birdseed does work. It might take longer than if you bought your seeds in packages, but it does work. So go ahead, try it. Don't forget to like, give me the thumbs up, subscribe, and tell your friends how much you love this video. Thank you, and thanks again.